Welcome to Bike World. Well, guys, that's the end of another series. So in true Christmas tradition, we've got our best of episode coming up for you. John, are there any moments that stick out for you this year?
Definitely wobbling around on that Z300 Ninja at Brands. I might have looked like I was having a horrible time, but it was really, really good fun.
And how about for you, Chris?
Oh, it's a tricky one. Probably racing cars with Autocar on the Panigale and various other things. As always, a great gig. Cars v bikes, we love that.
Do you know what my best moment was?
Oh, was no one going to ask you?
No, I don't think anybody
go on, Susie,
was.
what's your best moment?
Racing you at motocross and beating you. Aww.
Yeah,
well, Chris.
Yeah, that's right. You beat me. Yeah.
So here's what we've got coming up on this Christmas best of episode. As John said, let's head back to Brands Hatch on the Ninja 300 and KTM 390. We go back down to Brighton with the Ace Cafe, and Chris races those supercars again. But first, I'm challenged to get my knee down at the Maria Costello track day. This season at Bike World, we're going to be setting ourselves a series of challenges, and I set myself the first challenge, to get my knee down, which is something that I've always wanted to do. So to get me started, I've come to Maria Costello's women-only track day here at Silverstone. We're going to be riding the Stowe circuit. I've got everything I need to help me on my way. A brand new ZX6R that Kawasaki have lent me today. I've got a few knee sliders, leathers, there's fabulous instructors here, and of course Maria herself. But I would like to say that I haven't been on track for about a year now, so don't expect too much. Exaggerated knee extent, and I'm still nowhere close.
Okay, try and get that elbow over that knee.
Okay.
And that's better, but it's still not quite right. You're trying to hold your head. Yeah.
I'm trying to push this.
You're holding
out.
your head up too high as well.
Just let's see how flexible it is. Try and push it.
Yeah,
well,
that's
as
it. That would be
flexible as it is.
absolutely fine.
Okay.
And just come forward a little bit. That's it. That's better.
Seems like everybody's improved from this morning except for me. I've gone from here to here. Maria Costello, it's great to be here at another one of your women-only track days. Now, you know that I've got a challenge to get my knee down, and hopefully I'm going to start my journey here today. So what are the main points that I need to remember?
Okay, the really key points are that you don't lean the bike over too far. It's actually you that has to work and get off the side of the bike, get your backside slid across the seat and get your knee out and pushed out towards the ground.
Why do you think that getting your knee down is such a big deal to a lot of bikers?
Yeah, gosh, I guess it's because all the best racers in the world get their knee down and it just looks spectacular, you know, it looks crazy when you watch it on TV. Do you really scrape your knee on the floor? And when you get to say yes, that's a cool thing. And I remember, it was a long time ago when I first scraped mine, but I remember it being important.
I wonder if you can cheat it. So I look like, this is Maria and that's Susie. And then I'd look real fast. It's been a year since my last track day. Did I tell you it's been a year? No? Well, it has been a whole year. And then I used Bike World's ZX6R. So Kawasaki lent me this beautiful brand new ZX6R, but it did come with some hefty stipulations. Any damage that's done, I'm responsible. So it got me thinking about track day insurance, and I know it's quite difficult to come by. But you know that guy with the big head? Well, I gave him a call and found out that MCE Insurance actually offer track day cover for free as long as you've got a fully comprehensive insurance policy with them. But don't go trashing your bike straight away because they'll only cover 50% of the damage. So, perfect bike for getting my knee down. It's not mine and it's insured. I started off today really nervous, but as the day progressed, I became really excited, was really enjoying myself, smiling all the time, and then I peaked. What are you shaking your head for? And Alan said that my riding was actually tipping on the edge of being dangerous, which is a little bit embarrassing. I was working far too hard, holding on too tight, and became really tired, and it just made me realise that I'm not bike fit, which really pisses me off. My last session. I've absolutely loved today, but I am move it out of the way, out of the way. It is actually my birthday tomorrow, so I don't know if that's a sign of old age. I'm not telling you how old I am. 22. I can't even wink. This is Alan, he's the senior motorcycle instructor here at Silverstone, and I've been lucky enough to have him follow me today. Alan, how did I do?
I think you did great, Susie. We went out, considering you haven't ridden for a little while, you were probably a little bit rusty to start with, but obviously your thing today was to try and get your knee down. And you started off quite a long way away from it, but with a little bit of coaching and a little bit of practice out there today, you were miles away to start with, and by the end of the day, it literally was centimetres away. You were so close, it was a shame that you didn't actually get contact, Susie. I think it'll be one more session and you'll be there, but well done anyway.
In the meantime, you know those sliders that you have, the old ones?
You can borrow them.
Can I borrow them?
Yeah, you can just borrow them. Okay.
Thanks, that'd be great.
On a sunny Sunday, and it's the 21st annual Ace Cafe reunion. Drenched in sunlight, nice breeze, and immersed in motorcycles and scooters and trikes. In essence, it's an excuse to have fun down at the seaside. This year, the 21st annual Ace Cafe reunion, but the reason behind it and why it's come about is in essence wrapped up in a place in North London, Ace Cafe London, which closed in 1969. 25 years later, in 94, the cafe then being a tyre fitting depot, we organised a reunion there. Some 12,000 bikes came along. We wanted to do it again. Clearly, we couldn't host any more than the 12,000 up in North London. The obvious place to come with that run and create a whole new event, as it were, was here, Brighton, hour and a half south of London. You can do it faster, but there are speed limits, you know. Because it's not just bikes, overwhelmingly it's bikes, of course. But there are scooters in large numbers, the mods.
I love Brighton.
The gear's right, the scooters are right, there's the rockers. That heritage, which is 50 years ago this year, 1964, the mods and the rockers, could be described as descended on this seafront and clashed, captured in the press of the day. That big change of post-war, where youngsters in work and with credit were able to go out and buy a vehicle, meant that they could travel, independent transport. And when they hit this seafront, that was a surprise. Where did they all come from? the town wasn't expecting it. Because they just meet at CAFs and they get clubs. Where should we go this weekend? Well, the obvious place to go if you're living in London is down here to Brighton.
Well, lads, we often get asked how long we've been riding together. It's got to be 2 years now, hasn't it? Close on.
A couple of years, yeah.
Yeah, we get out regular, don't we?
Try to get away from the missus.
Another question people ask us is why did we choose scooters when there's so much variety out there? We enjoy the lifestyle.
Way of life, isn't it?
All about looking good going slow, isn't it? Like the old school thing.
It's about
Like
clothes-wise.
Yeah, dressing sharp and looking good.
Whole image, isn't it?
Always, you know, the music and the scooter, it all just went together well for me.
Well, we're not in a scooter club as such. Bratton's got quite a big following of scooters, and there's a full age group range. We've got from sort of 25 up to sort of 65, 70.
I've been into the scene and everything and that since like the days of the Jam. It was like stand outside school, yeah, the Jam had gone to number
In the
one.
80s?
Yeah, and that's when I got my first Parker.
Yeah.
Became a mod.
My girlfriend loves it.
They did start off, my missus started laughing a bit, but now, yeah, she's getting into it.
They can't get enough of it. They give it all that.
She'll be come Brighton next year with it.
BMW S1000RR. This is what, you know, is everyone's kind of dream track bike at the moment. Nearly 200 horsepower, traction control, everything you could want for riding around a track fast. But is it?
It is, unless you're 15, 16 years old, maybe you're riding a 50cc scooter, maybe you're thinking about getting that first kind of geared bike, making that step from push bike to scooter to proper road bike. I think something like this is great, but for those guys it's kind of stuck on the wall, isn't it? It's so hard to get to this 200 horsepower thing because it costs loads of money. The licensing thing in the UK at the minute is, in my opinion, it's so tough to get to a proper bike that some people are just giving up before it even gets tough, and it's really hard to get to something like this.
So you need somewhere between the ultimate, this is your Ferrari, you need your Vauxhall Corsa, you need your mid-range bike.
And what we do have today is an RC390 Cup bike, which we're hoping is going to be part of the support series for BSB in 2015. We're also lucky enough to have Steve Jordan's lovely Kawasaki Z300 Ninja Cup bike. So we're going to go out and take a look at the bikes and talk later.
Pow. I've just been out for another run on the Ninja. Steve's made some changes to the setup. Had a little rebound damping on the rear. Nope, taking rebound damping off the rear. And had a bit of preload to support the shock. It feels a lot better. It kind of highlights one of these things with these lightweight bikes is, you know, a bit of change on the suspension. Make a huge difference to how the way the bike feels and handles. So just jumped off that 390. That's awesome. It's like, feels like a little mini GP bike. It's real taut, and definitely compared to the Kawasaki, the chassis feels a lot more taut, a lot less movement. Like, you don't feel like you're wobbling around all the time. The motor's different too. The engine being the single cylinder on this, it's got a bit more low end. Kawasaki's twin is a little bit more revvy. So this on the corners where you haven't quite got the gear perfect for the track, you can drive out from the mid-range and it pulls off the bend a bit quicker. But yeah, fabulous fun, upsetting people on big bikes. Okay, Superbike top trumps on the Ninja 300 and the KTM RC390. Who gets to go first? Rock, paper, scissors. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll go first then. Right, power.
38 bhp.
37. 1-0. 1-0 to the KTM.
Price on the grid going racing.
7 grand.
You win. I'm 7.5-ish.
Weight. What's the weight?
I think with this one, it looks like the series is going to run 134 at any time. Anytime they choose to weigh the bike.
Wet?
Some wet.
Some wet?
Not fully wet. Semi-wet.
I'm on 142.
Or fully wet.
Fully wet.
How big's the fuel tank on this?
Wait, what's better, more weight or less weight? Surely more weight's better. Because then you can push people out of the way with it, no?
I'm going to say less weight is good.
2-1. 2-1. Your call.
Top speed.
Top speed, 125 miles an hour.
I think you would probably just pip this.
Just?
By 4 miles an hour.
Got this.
So forks. I've got upside down Red Bull rookie spec forks. What you got?
Give me 5 minutes and I can have upside down forks. So I'm calling the same on internals, but you have got upside down forks.
Okay.
What's that, 4-3?
It can be.
Go on then, Lux. Lux has got to be the next one.
Baby Tom Sykes.
It's a baby Tom Sykes, but...
This is a baby RC8.
I hate to admit it, but I'm on the KTM. I think it looks better. I'm sorry, I'm a bad person, Kawasaki, but I do think the KTM looks better. What a day.
What?
How good was that?
Best day ever.
Best day of work ever.
I don't know if people at home will realise that I don't race. I don't have the same background as you. I'm a road rider. I'm a track day rider, fast group track day guy. I found with the KTM, it felt more like a road bike that I was used to. Yeah. So, full day on the bikes. Pick one.
No, you pick one.
All right, I'll pick both. I'll start. Kawasaki on the wall. KTM on the road. I love the look of the Kawasaki. I love everything about it. It makes me imagine that if I was 17, I'd think I was Tom Sykes every time I got out of the garage.
I can see that. I'm gonna rub my microphone with my hand. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I would definitely go with the KTM chassis and styling because I'm a child and I like youthful, edgy styling. I'm not a child, if only. And I'm going to go with the motor from the Kawasaki. Yeah. The KTM had the punch, but the Kawasaki just had that spread that when you've not got a lot of power, it's nice not to be hitting the limiter all the time.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Going fast is awesome, right? Doesn't matter whether you're in a car, on a bike, or a roller coaster when you're a kid. You know, we all love going fast. Obviously, here at Bike World, we're keen on bikes. Autocar, a couple of our friends, obviously their thing is cars. And for as long as I can remember, we've had phone calls back and forth between, you know, them at Autocar, us at Bike World, us at Superbike. Always, oh, what have you got? We'll race you with this. We've got this. We'll race you with that. And for as long as I can remember now, we've been doing these car versus bike events. We haven't lost one yet, and I don't intend to let that happen now. This time, I was a little nervous. They phoned me up. They've got the new McLaren P1. They've got the new Porsche 918 Spider. Now, for those who are not into cars, those are the best two cars that you can buy right now. They are unreal. After a few phone calls, I managed to get hold of the most expensive superbike you can currently get and the highest performance on paper, which is the new Ducati Superleggera, £54,000 worth of bike. So we headed over to Bruntingthorpe for a straight line race, £2 million supercars, 150 grand Panigale. We kind of had this 200 mile an hour idea in our heads, but I kind of didn't think there's not many bikes that will actually top 200 miles an hour. There's no production bike that will top 200 miles an hour currently. So the way the days run is we'll start at one end of the runway, started with one car, put all the data equipment in it, a couple of speed runs from dead start, fast as you can up to as fast as the car will go down the runway, move on to the next one, jump on the bike, move on to the next one, jump into the other car. There's no substitute for all lining up in a line and then launching down the runway to see kind of what ends up where.
So close. 918 is four-wheel drive, so it gets off the line better. I can't see either of them. There's the bike. Oh my God!
When you look at all three vehicles doing the launch here, you can see here off the line the Porsche is unreal. That's a four-wheel drive car. 4 wheels, four lots of traction. That thing off the line was untouchable. However good a launch I got on the bike, I was never ever far ahead of the Porsche. Once everything was kind of settled down and it stopped fighting the wheelies, the bike came into its own there. You're just rattling off the gears, and it was funny. Like if I'd got a bad start, you could just see the two cars just reeling them in, absolutely powering up the side of them. So you've seen all the runs, you've seen us charging up and down the runway, having loads of fun. We end up pulling a load of data out, plugging it all into a spreadsheet. It's it's kind of surprising, it's good for the bike. Up to 60 mile an hour, it took the Porsche 2.95 seconds. It took the McLaren 3.24 seconds, and it took the bike 3.14. So the bike kind of 80 mile an hour onwards, that Superleggera has got this, it's pulling away. And then what we can do is we can go 180 mile an hour at a realistic top speed. Let's end the game there. We win, bike wins, 16.77 seconds. The bike is doing 180 mile an hour. Just have a think about it for a second. 16.7 seconds and you're doing 180 miles an hour. That is insane. At that point, the Ducati was in the lead, but sure enough, a few seconds later, that McLaren comes absolutely howling past. The standing mile speed, so race over a mile, bike won that too. 25.44 seconds to do a mile. Depending on what race you opt for, everyone won. Porsche quickest to 60, bike quickest everywhere else. McLaren tops it once we get past 192. Could look at it happy families, like everybody won one bit, but obviously we actually know the bike won it all because the bike's best. We win. Hooray!